We are VIMTV, Velocities and Music. Guys, today we're going to review Animal Joy from Shearwater. Tom, I want you to jump in on this one and tell me what you think about Animal Joy.
Well, Animal Joy, Shearwater. This is my first experience listening to Shearwater. I did a little bit of research on them, and they've got quite a few albums. They've been quite prolific. But their sound, to describe it, it's got... It's definitely kind of, I mean, indie rock, whatever that means.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. But bands that I would kind of compare it to are Wild Beasts, Elbow. I got a lot of Elbow out of this.
The Boxer Rebellion.
Yes, totally.
Cold War Kids, Okerville River.
Which there's a connection there.
Yeah.
But it's got a very good sound. I've always been attracted to this kind of sound. If you've watched this before, you'll know I love the band Elbow, and that's one of the things that jumped out at me a lot.
Watch the next episode.
Yeah, good point. But really what got me about this album, listening to it, is the variety of different moods you get. From the first track, Animal Life, which is a more optimistic sounding, kind of moving, upbeat song.
British arena anthem.
Yeah, I'd call it that.
That's what it is.
And then track 2, Breaking the Yearlings, really more rockin', great guitar riff. Into Dread Sovereign, which is a little more brooding. I mean, from track to track, I could find different things to say about each track in describing it. And I really like albums like that because it keeps it engaging, but they're still able to keep a consistent sound.
Right.
And that's what really jumped out at me about this album. It made me really fall in love with it quickly. Now, after more listens, what I realized I disliked about it is I feel like the back half is a little weak. With the exception of the track Pushing the River, I feel like Open Your Houses and On is just doesn't stand up to the first 6 tracks. The first 6 tracks are just bam, just incredible. I love it. With the one little thing I want to throw in there, you gotta listen to the very beginning of track 2 and tell me it doesn't sound like David Draymond from Disturbed is singing. I mean, this sounds nothing like Disturbed,
right?
But the vocals right there, I was like, holy crap! It's just kind of a funny little thing. Tangent. We're back to the album now. So those were my really only complaints, but I think that this is a good album, one of the better albums in 2012 that I've heard. I thought it was a really enjoyable listen. To
me, this wasn't a very original sound, yet what they do extremely well. There's 2 things in particular about the songwriting that I noticed, and one was just this is all centered around this harmonized vocals, but a very unique vocal sound. In addition to that, on a lot of these tracks, you have a stomp of a beat of real drums, but it's like this cadence.
Very primal.
You know, it comes. Yeah, primal is a great word to describe it. And that pretty much starts from track 2, Breaking the Yearlings on. That song just comes in with the stomp. You hear that stomp repeated in different forms throughout the rest of the album. Now, the reason why that became such a prominent thing for me was because I noticed that the best aspect about this album was the production that they laid down on top of the instrumentation to really enhance the sounds of those instruments. The drums are thick. They just pound your ass off. I can feel the bass drum. Like I can hear it going like this when they have a bass drum kick. The bass sounds wonderful. The guitars sound great, and the vocals are lush. That's something that is it's beautiful when you hear good instrumentation and good songwriting matched up with great production that just highlights that. So often you have production styles that conflict with songwriting or conflict with instrumentation, and that is not the case on Animal Joy. That's something I did appreciate about this album. Now, originality is something that's huge to me. I felt like I heard this album last year when we reviewed the Boxer Rebellion, and I wasn't in love with that when I heard it because I thought Coldplay and Radiohead have already done this. What are we doing? And while this is a bit different of a sound, there's a lot of artists right now doing albums like this. And just from a scope perspective, this isn't aimed to be some magnificent album. As Tom said, the front half is great, the back half isn't as great. To me, it kind of fell flat. There's some tracks here I will come back to and enjoy. And overall, the album I thought was enjoyable. But overall, this isn't going to be one of my favorite albums of the year, but I'll put it on every now and then and with some friends and enjoy it. So that's kind of my take on the sound of Animal Joy. I'm interested to see what everyone else thought out there.
Definitely.
I'm sitting at a 74. Tom, you liked it considerably more. What would you render as a score?
I'm going 84.
84. So a little bit, another disagreement, slight disagreement, albeit, but another disagreement from VIMTV. This is VIMTV is in rare form in these 10 reviews, so you guys are getting us at our best. What did you guys think about Animal Joy? Shearwater is a band that's actually getting a lot of good press right now. A lot of people who haven't heard of Shearwater, including Jake and Tom here, have now been exposed to Shearwater and are experiencing it for the first time and laying down a lot of opinions and a lot of good, favorable opinions. What did you think of this album? Let us know at www.velocitiesandmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesandmusic. Also, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook, because that is where we talk to you. And guys, we need your help in determining the albums that we're going to review, because we kind of just pick the albums that we want to do, but it's really important to us to know what's important to you. So leave us a comment. You guys matter. You are what makes VIMTV possible, so thank you very much for your participation. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.